Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me today as I continue my Oscar review series for the 2021 film Tick, Tick, Boom, directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda and starring Andrew Garfield. So, what did I think of Tick, Tick, Boom? I think it's a pretty average film. I know a lot of people really love this movie, but I wasn't one of them. I didn't completely dislike it, though. There's things about it that I do like, and I could see why some people really like it. My main problem with Tick, Tick, Boom is that it feels very unfocused. I think there's a lot of great individual scenes and individual parts to this movie, but I don't think everything necessarily connects all the way together. So I'll start with the acting. I think Andrew Garfield is very good in the role, but I would hesitate to call him great. I think he falls just short of that. He's excellent in the dramatic scenes and has good chemistry with the rest of the cast. But I don't think in the musical numbers he quite hits the level of great. Like he's fine, he's adequate, but I didn't get the emotion that I look for in musical numbers in a film. That was just me. This film is a biography of the life of Jonathan Kaplan, who's known for writing Rent, among other things. And the script does a good job of fleshing out this character, giving us the ups and downs. Sometimes I liked him, sometimes I didn't, which is really good screenwriting. However, on the other part, I think the film tries to do too much. There is a lot of late 80s, early 90s social commentary, which is fine. I have no problem with that, but I don't think the way the film handles it is particularly effective. It's too unfocused, and plot points just kind of come and go. As soon as something would get interesting, the film would shift gears to something else. And I think the film would have been better if it maybe just would have focused on one or two things instead of trying to cover so many themes and issues. The editing, which is Oscar nominated along with Andrew Garfield, is solid. I could see why it was nominated. It's the kind of flashy editing the Academy loves, and there are some truly unique and interesting and effective pieces of editing in the film. However, once again, there's a negative, as I think some scenes are over-edited. Just because you can put something flashy and creative into a scene doesn't mean that you always should. Sometimes less is more, at least in my opinion, when it comes to editing. But the editing is solid and effective overall. The supporting characters could be interesting, but they're not really set up that well. There's some effective scenes with the supporting characters in the last act of the film, but that's because they're finally developed and focused on, and the scenes still work, but I thought they could have been even better if the characters had been set up earlier. For instance, there's scenes with the lead character's girlfriend and best friend, which still come across as somewhat touching. But again, if I would have known more about these characters early on, they might have played even better. My biggest issue with this film, though, is what it is with a lot of films. That's the tone is all over the place. While the dramatic scenes are good on their own, and some of the musical scenes are effective on their own, I don't think the two meshing together totally works. And I have to kind of fault the screenwriting and the directing for this. For example, there'd be a pretty good musical number, but then when the film goes back to drama, it just doesn't flow well, and kind of vice versa, at least for me. Once again, way too just unfocused in mood. And maybe that was the point, but for me, it just didn't come together. So like I said, this film just feels like it has a lot of great ideas, but it's just so unfocused. It's not sure what it wants to be. Does it want to be a biography? Does it want to be a drama? Does it want to be a musical? There's even some light attempts at humor in this film that they're okay, I guess. But again, do they fit the overall themes and tone of the movie? Not really, in my opinion. So for me, this was kind of a Jekyll and Hyde movie. There's things I really liked, things I really didn't like. So it comes out about average. Oh, and one more thing. The sound mix is really, really good. No negative on that. It's just really, really good. I would have actually preferred this film be nominated for sound mixing instead of editing. As someone I'm nowhere near an expert on either, but I've dabbled in sound and editing, and to me, the sound mix is what really stands out in this movie. So overall, should you watch Tick, Tick, Boom? If you like biography, sure. If you're an Andrew Garfield fan, you probably want to check it out for sure. If you like musicals, it's probably good enough to entertain you. The film runs 2 hours, and that's a reasonable running time. I have no issues there. But if you don't like movies that are a little unfocused and change narrative a lot, then you probably don't want to watch this film. So overall for me, Tick, Tick, Boom's kind of just an average movie, and thanks for watching.